Very good morning, everyone. Am I audible? If I am audible, please do respond in the chat box.
Yeah, you are audible, Sandesh.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, let me just give me the brief introduction of myself. Afterwards, the HOD of Geetam University, that is Brahmanandam sir, he will be speaking about this webinar. I am Sandesh, a technical trainer, a technical expert, and online educator, and the founder of Study Online. This is what the quick introduction about myself. Maybe regarding the in detail afterwards I will speak. Yes, sir. You can just take the call and you can just continue the session. That means initial introduction. Yes, sir. Mr.
Yeah, Sandesh. Yeah, shall I start?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, you can start.
Yeah. Okay. So, welcome to all the participants, student friends. Uh, Sandesh for accepting our invitation for giving the introduction and the need of the hour. Why Python has to be learned by our students. Various aspects of today's need for our students to get into. My coordinators who have launched this and all. So I thank each and every one of you. Dear student friends, Python is, I mean, if you're not learning Python language, okay, so you'll be left out. So that is the need of the hour. So Python is used not only for artificial intelligence and machine learning or data science. Okay, so it is easy for you to develop any desktop applications to web applications or artificial intelligence and machine learning and the various tools which is used, inbuilt tools like Django, Flask, and all. I mean, many inbuilt applications, okay, tools, which helps all of you to code it very easily because of its robustness, okay, easy to code, okay, multi-platform compatibility. Okay, so all these things are helping the programmers to code very efficiently, quickly. Even though, yes, the disadvantage is about it is not too quick compared to other programming languages, but it is giving us the flexibility to all the coders to bridge in all multi application platforms and just focus on the problem what you want to solve, not how you want to solve. uh, so my final year students, I think so most of them got a chance to learn Python language through Coursera platforms and all. Then I was wondering, my 2019 batch, when they come down to, so I mean, I'm just speaking about some of the initiatives what Geetam University has taken on and our department. Then the previous second year students had learned PSP, that is problem solving and programming using C language. And in the third semester, when we revised it, it was data structures with Python. And then we conducted almost 15 days SDP, that is Students Development Program, to see that it will be easy for them to learn data structures with Python. And the previous second year, that is who are now in the third year, we also invited them, telling, are you people interested? And more than 90 students were interested and they joined. So, from 2020 batch, PSP is not through C, it is through Python. So that is how we are all evolving and changing to the need of the industries. As all of you know that our department is starting with a few more programs, that is BTech Computer Science and Engineering, specialization with AI and ML, specialization with data science, specialization with cyber security, specialization in IoT. So our intake from 420 is doubled now. Okay, from computer science and engineering, the intake is 814 Bangalore campus. And fortunately, even in this pandemic, all the 840 seats are filled, and only the seats which we are supposed to give to CET, around 210 seats, that has to be done, and more than 250 students are in the waiting list. Only if the students are not joining through KCET, then those seats will be offered to the students who are in it. That's a very good reason that we are proactive, all those things and all. And that is the reason we are conducting such kind of webinars, and will be more active to see that the students of Geetam University, okay, will be having those careers. When they are attending the interviews, they should be more confident. Okay, so a lot of changes are happening. Okay, we all will work together to see that you people will be having a very good offers when you are going out, and your career aspects and all will be very good. Okay, so over to Sandesh, and hope all the participants will gain a lot of knowledge and look into why actually I need to learn Python programming, and how actually it will help me in enhancing our careers, all those things. Over to Sandesh.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I'll appreciate your effort you're putting towards your student and the student community and the vision.
Yeah, 1 minute, Sandesh. So participants, Sandesh, though he looks very young, okay, he's having a lot of experience in training. He has trained more than 5,000 corporate trainings he has conducted for more than 5,000 participants. And he has trained more than 3,000 students in Python, more than 1,500 students in testing and other tools and all. So his expertise will really help you in gaining a lot of knowledge. Okay, over to Sandesh.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. And you made me feel very old by telling all those things. Actually, I'm very young. Fine, sir, fine. And seriously, I appreciate the effort that has been put by the college team towards the youngsters or towards the student community. Without wasting the time, let me just start with the webinar. And once again, welcome all to the webinar of Python for machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data science. Before starting with this webinar, directly I can just start with what exactly machine learning, what exactly this AI, and what exactly this data science is all about. I can just start with that. But before that, first of all, you have to understand why there is a necessity of machine learning, why that machine learning, data science, or AI, it is a booming term in 2020. Not only in 2020, maybe from 2000s, it's a booming term, and why it is being used. And among those particular technology, why exactly they'll be using Python. If you're getting the clarity about that, that is more than sufficient for me. That is the reason I will just tell, this happens to be the webinar heading, I will just tell Python for machine learning, AI, or data science. Guys, afterwards, I'll just give you the clarity about what exactly is machine learning, AI, and DS. Before that, try to understand what exactly this Python, that means why Python is used in this machine learning, AI, as well as DS. Anyone having the clarity about Python? That's one thing I want this session to be very interactive. Interactive means very simple. You are not sitting in front of me. That means via online we have connected. If you want to interact with me, always there is a chat box. In the chat box, you can just respond so that I would be getting the clarity and what kind of audience are there in front of me. That means, what do you know about Python? If I just utter the word Python, what comes to your mind? I know so many things will come to your mind, sir. What is Python? Is that a snake or is that an animal? Something like that, correct, right? I will just tell Python is a programming language. That too, it's a very trending programming language. Sir, why you are taking this term that is Python? Maybe for some of them, it might be first time they'll be hearing this Python, or some of them will be having complete knowledge on Python. And some of them are telling, sir, it is also a similar programming language like C and Java. Guys, for people they'll not be having the complete clarity about the technical terms. It's like a booming term. What I can tell, maybe in the internet, I don't know how many of them would have heard about this booming term, Binod, maybe a couple of months back. This was a booming term, correct, right? In the internet. It might be in Instagram, it might be in the Facebook. Binod. Have you heard about this? Yeah, maybe in Karnataka also there is some trending term. Similarly, machine learning, artificial intelligence, as well as data science. It is a trending term. Try to understand the trending term, why the trending term is there, why people have to use that, all those things. Let me just give you the quick clarity about what is that Python and machine learning. Before that, I would like to start with Python. Anyone having the clarity about Python? It is very simple. Already I have told, sir, it is a programming language, correct, right? Right now, what I'll just give you the clarity about what exactly Python, why in 2020 someone has to use Python or someone has to learn Python. I would like to open the Google Chrome. I think this is Google Chrome. Just listen carefully. I would like to open index. That means, let me just give you the quick clarity about Python. I will just tell there's an index called as TAOB index, TAOB, or some of them might be uh, calling it as TAOB. I would like to click on this. So why, sir, why you're opening this TIOB, all those things? You have to understand what is the trend and what is the rank of the programming language. Why Python is used in machine learning. If you are getting the clarity, easily understand machine learning, data science, or AI. Let me just scroll down here. If you just look at the TIOB index of 2020 August, that means the previous month, whatever they have given. Can you just look at the ranking of Python? Please look at the ranking of Python. Don't you think the ranking of Python happens to be third rank? That means among plenty of languages that are available on the market, Python happens to be, or Python stands in third position. Okay, sir, what about second position? Second position is held by the programming language called as Java, and the first position held by C programming language, one and only language. It's a mother of all the programming language. It's an evergreen programming language, to be frank with you. That's why I'm giving you the clarity about all those things. If you just ask me, Sandesh, which programming language will you like? I don't have any like and dislike in my life. Fine, I like Java, I like C, I like Python. It depends on the situation and it depends on the trend. And it depends on what technology I'm applying, all those things. Guys, I think everyone would have learned C programming language, yes or no? Please correct me if I'm not wrong. I think everyone, if you are engineering graduate, either in first semester or in second semester, you would have learned C programming language. At the, guys, this is what the mistake of student. If there is any subject that is available, that is there in the curriculum, it might be through any university, what the student will feel, these subjects are not very important. I think this is a miscommunication happened between the students. Please don't go through the curriculum, it is useless, outdated syllabus. 100% no, guys, I will not agree with that. If it is outdated syllabus, why the hell they will keep, correct, right? That is the reason, please try to learn each and every subject that is available in your curriculum. That means if you just take one semester, I think 8 subjects will be there along with the lab. Please study all the subject, not from the percentage perspective. Please gain the knowledge, try to understand the core thing about that subject. If you are from CS or IS background, I think compiler design will be there, operating system will be there. Next, if you're from EC background, field theory will be there, networking will be there. Like this, plenty of core subjects will be there. Please try to understand completely related to the core subject. And whenever it comes to CS or IS student, I think you would have learned C, you would have learned Java, you would have learned Python in your curriculum. Correct, right? If I'm not wrong. That is the reason these things are very trending in the IT industry. As a student, once you're done with your engineering, if you want to get your dream job, then 100% you should be equipped yourself with all these weapons. Technically, I'll call it as weapons: C, Java, or Python. Guys, as a fresher, if you are having the knowledge on C, Java, Python, 100% will be getting job. But it depends how you're going to crack the interview. Based upon all those skills, you'll be getting your job. But make sure that you're having the complete hands-on on C, Java, Python. Right now, my concentration is not towards C or Java. Why? Because right now the webinar happens to be what? Machine learning, data science, and artificial intelligence. Right now, my question is very simple. You should be understanding Python is a trending programming language and it has a highest rank in the TIOB index. That means the third rank. Sir, what made Python to commence it in this third rank? It is very simple. Let me just scroll down here. If you just look down here, something they have given that is very long-term history. Sir, what about this very long-term history? When Python got invented, unofficially Python developed in the year 1989, but officially Python got released into the market in the year 1991. In 1991, Python got released into the market. Can you just tell me? I want the response from your end. In 1995, what happens to be the rank of Python? Just look at the cursor, where the cursor is pointing. In 1995, what was the ranking of Python? Very good. In 1995, the ranking of Python happens to be 20th rank. Next, in 2000, what is the ranking of Python? Don't you think in 2000, the ranking of Python is 22nd rank? That means still it got decreased from 20th to 22nd. Then you have to observe, guys, from 2000, next 2005, in this 5 year, some drastic change happened in the IT company. Because of this drastic change, because that language is extensively used in some of the fields, the rank has been suddenly changed from 22nd rank to 6th rank. Guys, that is not a joke. To be frank with you, coming from 22nd rank to 6th rank is not at all a joke. If you are coming from 10th rank to 9th rank, assume that in your class there will be some first rank student, second rank student, correct, right? Coming from second rank to first rank, that is not a big deal. Why? Because ultimately it's a topper. But coming from 22nd rank to 6th rank, that is not a joke. Something happened in this 2000 to 2005. What is that? That is what I will be discussing in today's class. Next, in 2010, 6th rank, 2015, 7th rank, Again, from 2015 to 2020, again there is a shift in the rank from 7th rank to 3rd rank. That means there is a 4th shift in the rank. Guys, these things indicates that there is a huge demand in the IT company for Python. Python is extensively used in different fields. Which are those fields? I will give the clarity. Why you will worry about that? This is what the quick introduction about Python. Right now, let me just start with the actual webinar, that is machine learning, AI, and data science. Guys, before starting with the webinar, I just want the clarity from the student. That means what kind of things you're having at the back of your mind. If I just utter the word machine learning, what comes to your mind? I want the clarity from your end. If I utter the word machine learning, what comes to your mind? Yes, please be very frank. No need to hesitate. If I just tell machine learning, what comes to your mind? Or if I just utter the word AI, what comes to your mind? Or if I utter the word data science, what comes to your mind? Guys, first of all, as a student, not as a student, as a human being, we should be having some imagination power. That means if you are having the imagination, then easily you can understand the things. Okay, I'm just reading all the responses, whatever you are sending. Some of them are telling, sir, it's a magical word. Those three things are magical word. Very good, man. It's a magical word, to be frank with you. Okay, some of them are telling robots. That means if I utter the word machine learning, AI, robotics is what that will come to their mind. Okay. Okay, computer that will learn. Okay, and computer which will perform some operation without using the human. Correct. Without using the manpower. Correct. Next, any other answer from your end? Your end. Okay, they're telling that is the future. Very good. It's a training machine. Okay. It's a computer which will do mimicry like a human being. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Thank you so much for your all the responses, whatever I have given. Yes, right now it is very simple, guys. These three terms happens to be the booming terminologies. I will just tell machine learning. Let me just tell this happens to be machine learning. Guys, by the end of this session, you should be getting the clarity about these three terminologies. Simply, you should not utter this word. If anyone is asking, I know about machine learning, I know about AI, I know about data science, simply you should not tell like that. You should be having the complete clarity. That means in 2020, what exactly machine learning, why that machine learning will be used, on which fields it will be applicable, everything I will teach. Listen properly. Let me just consider the first one happens to be machine learning. I will tell, if I consider machine learning, first one I will just tell machine learning. Next, the second term, whatever I have told, that is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. Maybe the last one happens to be data science. I will just tell. Let me just tell data science. Okay, one by one I will take so that you will be getting the clarity. First of all, just tell me what do you mean by machine learning? What do you mean by machine learning? Okay, just now some of the people told the correct answer and some of them are trying to tell the correct answer. Okay, don't worry, I will be giving the clarity. Okay, sir, what do you mean by this artificial intelligence? Guys, it's a trending term, it's a booming term. The problem in today's world, to be frank with you, the problem in today's world, everyone would have heard about that word, but no one will be having the complete clarity. I'm not telling to everyone. Maybe some of them will not be having the complete clarity about what exactly AI. That is the reason this webinar is being conducted. I thank so much for the organization for giving me the wonderful opportunity to teach all these technical terms for the student community. If you just consider artificial intelligence, what do you mean by artificial intelligence? Maybe Prime Minister will speak about Bayo or Behano. This is what artificial intelligence. Next, if you just look at Shah Rukh Khan, he will also speak artificial intelligence. If you just take any of the politician, if you just take any of the hero, heroine, or whoever it may be, they will speak about artificial intelligence. That's all. Apart from AI, they will not tell anything. That means what exactly AI, how those things will be used. Nothing they will tell. Correct, right? That is the reason I will be giving the clarity about what exactly this artificial intelligence is all about. I'll be explaining these things using some powtoons. In this class, how many of them are allowed to watch movies? It might be Kannada movie, it might be Telugu movie. How many of them will watch movies? I just want the count. If you are a person on who love movies, or if you are a person on who is going to watch the movies oftenly, you will enjoy this session like anything. Trust me, guys, you will enjoy the session. Okay, very good. Yeah, some of them are telling, sir, I'm a movie freak. Fine. Okay, just see here. I think the screen has been displayed for everyone. If the screen is been displayed, just tell me yes, I will proceed with the thing. Okay, good.
Yes, Sandesh, it is visible.
Just see here, guys. It is very simple. If I utter the word called as AI, that is artificial intelligence, I think something like this will come to your mind. Some robots will be there. These robots will start to rotate in your mind. Yes or no? Correct, right? Next, maybe for some of them, these things will come to their mind. If I just utter the word called as AI, maybe some robots will be there. One person will be operating that robot. If you feel this is what AI, 100% this is what AI, but this is not complete AI, I will tell what is exactly complete AI. And how many of them are a huge fan of movies? Already some of them told, sir, I'm a huge fan of movies. Correct, right? If you're watching Marvel series or Marvel movies, there is one fellow called as Iron Man. Have you heard about him? Maybe in real name is Tony Stark. Correct, right? He will keep on speaking with AI. He'll be having that AI. What is the name of the AI? He will keep on speaking with that AI, that is artificial intelligence. Very good. Previously, it was Jarvis. I will also watch that series. That is, I will also watch Marvel movies. Previously, it was Jarvis. Right now, it has been changed into what? Friday. The name of the AI that will be used by Iron Man or Tony Stark happens to be what? Jarvis. Previously, right now it is Friday. He will keep on speaking with that AI. Whatever the action or whatever the task he will tell, don't you think that AI will perform? That means human has to guide. Correct, right? And if you're a fan of South Indian movies, I think one movie is trending maybe a couple of years back. What is that movie name? I will give you the hint. Talava is the hero of that movie. That is Rajinikanth. Very good. Very good. Who can forget that movie name? Correct, right? That is Rajinikanth. That is Robo. Okay. If you are a fan of South Indian movies at that point of time, you may feel like, sir, this is what AI, sir. 100%. This is also AI, but this is not complete artificial intelligence. Is that fine? Guys, in today's scenario, if you want me to give the clarity about what exactly I will not tell AI is not just about some fancy robots or some movie related things. No, not actually. In today's scenario, 9 out of 10 things, whatever we will use, that is based upon what? Artificial intelligence. Sir, what you're trying to tell, sir? How come we are involved with artificial intelligence? That is the reason I'm here. I will teach you how come you are related with artificial intelligence. Let me just go with the next slide. Listen carefully. I want everyone to understand. See here, right now, before understanding what exactly this artificial intelligence, let me just try to ask you a question. What exactly human intelligence? Please tell me what do you mean by human intelligence? Or how come these human beings will learn? Because right now what I'm trying to explain is very simple. Artificial intelligence. That means how exactly that intelligence will happen artificially to the machines. Correct, right? Best example. I think if you're having your phone, you can just speak with your phone. If you're telling okay Google, don't you think it will respond back? Yes or no? If you're opening your mobile and if you're telling okay Google, it will respond back. That is what AI, that is what artificial intelligence. And as a fresher, right now how exactly Java and Python is very compulsory to attend the interview. Guys, bet me in couple of years, not in couple of years, maybe in couple of months, from the IT industry, there is a huge demand. As a fresher, they should be having the clarity about artificial intelligence, machine learning, as well as what? Data science. That is the reason, please equip yourself with all these things. Now leave about what exactly this machine learning. Right now, in order to learn about this artificial intelligence, you should be having the clarity about what? Machine learning. For a while, I will speak about machine learning or how exactly we have to train the machine in order to learn itself. I will speak about that. But first of all, please tell me, what do you mean by human learning? Let's talk about human learning. What do you mean by human learning? Or how exactly the human beings will learn? Or how exactly the data will be recorded in the human brain? Don't you think from our childhood onwards, we used to learn, correct, right? Not by experience. Please don't tell not by experience. Human learning will happen because of learning things, yes or no? Maybe in LKG, we have studied the LKG subjects. Right now, we are studying what? The engineering subjects. Maybe you people would have studied the engineering subject. I think hardly you have studied 64 subjects. That's all correct, right? If you want to enhance your knowledge with respect to novels, you'll be learning some books. If you want to enhance the knowledge on general knowledge, that means if you want to enhance those things, you'll be reading the newspaper, correct, right? That means, guys, it is very simple. Human learning will happen because of what? I want the answer from your end. Just now I have told the answer. Human learning will happen because of what? Very good. Human learning will happen because of what? Learning process. Sir, give me some best example, sir. Yes, it is very simple. Best example. I think everyone are aware of cycling process. Is there anyone who doesn't know how to cycle? Correct, right? Everyone are aware of cycling process. Maybe in your childhood days, that was a very big dream. Correct, right? Maybe in third standard, fourth standard, we used to give torture for our parents. Please buy one cycle. I will also learn cycle. Correct, right? But right now, maybe for nowadays kid, directly they will start with bike. Forget about cycle. Forget about bike. They will start with car. That is what the today's trend is there. But in those era, we used to love that cycle. Correct, right? Right now, I will just tell like this. As a human being, whenever you want to learn cycle, assume that like this, your father or your mother would have taught you how to learn that, or else how to pedal. Correct, right? How to perform cycling activities. Exactly, someone would have taught you. You just tell me, day one, day one itself, you will just bring that cycle. You will start to learn cycling process. Do you think day one itself you'll become completely expert in that cycling process? 100% no. Correct, right? As a human being, on first day one, that is on the day one, we will not be learning all the things. As days progressed, as days progressed, as days progressed, as you keep on cycling, the more you cycled, the better you became. That means you did more something. That is the reason you got the complete hold. Maybe first day it was a very difficult for you to pedal. First day it was very difficult to balance that particular steering. It is very difficult to apply the brake. Correct, right? But once you repeatedly do the task, don't you think you'll be getting the experience? That means don't you think you'll be learning that particular thing completely? After 2 months, who knows, you'll be doing wheeling and all. Correct, right? If you're having the complete grip on cycling, you have learned cycling. That is the reason you can just perform some stunts using cycling. That is what some of the people will do. Maybe bike stunts, car stunts, all those things. Do you think day one itself is it possible to perform that stunts? Day one itself, if you're trying to perform the stunts, 100% directly you'll see the god. Without any ticket, directly you'll see the god. Day one itself, if you're trying to perform that stunts. That is the reason, as a human being, we have to learn. Repeatedly, we have to learn. Right now, my question is very simple. As a human being, if you are learning repeatedly, what you will gain? What you will gain from that? If you are doing some task repeatedly, what you will gain from that? Let's assume I'm doing this teaching profession from couple of years back. What I have gained, and I'm working as a developer from couple of years. What I have gained, very good. Don't you think you'll be getting the perfection as well as one more very important thing, knowledge, and the one point which I'm expecting from the students. Already I got the answer from your end. Very good. I don't think as a human being will be getting the experience. Correct, right? Experience matters in 2020. How many of them will agree with my point? Guys, 100% experience matters. Guys, not your age. Your age may be 20, your age may be 25, your age may be 30, your age may be 50. But ultimately, experience matters. There is no correlation between the age and experience. Maybe if the person is having 10 years of experience, means it doesn't mean that you'll be having the complete maybe proficiency with respect to that. Correct, right? That means how you're gonna learn, how you're gonna invest your time as a human being. If you're doing the task repeatedly, if you're doing the task on a daily basis, don't you think you'll be getting the experience? Sir, what is the use of experience, sir? It is very simple. One example I will tell so that easily you'll understand what is the value of experience. Do you think a person who is having 1 years of experience as a developer, and if a person is having 10 years of experience as a developer, who will be valued more in the IT company? 1 year experience candidate, 10-year experience candidate, who will be valued more? And if you just look at their salary, who will be getting the highest salary? Do you think a person who is having 1 year experience will be getting the highest salary, or 10 years experience candidate? Very good. See here, you are only telling the answer. That means, guys, don't you think experience, how you are having the experience, or how much amount of experience do you have? Based upon that, you'll be getting the value in the society. Similarly, let me just consider studying process. Let me just consider the studying process. Guys, if you consider studying process, right now you might be feeling like, sir, what's our engineering? It is very difficult to learn. All those internals, externals, all those things will be there. But do you think after 2 years? After 2 years, assume that right now your age category might be 23 or 25. Once you cross 26 or 27 or 28 or 30, do you think whatever the subjects that are there in engineering, do you think it is very difficult to learn? 100% you will feel it is very easy, guys. Best example, assume that tomorrow if I tell you to learn the subjects that are there in the SSLC, that is 10th standard, and write the examination, do you think you will feel very difficulty to do that? As an engineering graduate, tomorrow if I give 1 week of time to clear SSLC exam, don't you think you will be in a position to learn those things in a very quick manner? Only you will learn. Why? Because you will tell, sir, that is very easy, sir. Bacha concepts and all will be there. Right now you will tell. Why? Because you are having experience towards learning. Correct, right? That is the reason you told the 10th standard syllabus is very easy. Similarly, once you become a graduate, once you become a working professional, at that point of time, you will feel whatever the engineering subjects will be there. It's a very easy subjects. Guys, yes or no? How many of them will agree with my point? Whatever the point I'm trying to convey, how many of them will agree? Very good. Correct, right? Yeah, this is what the human behavior. Right now, my question is very simple. Right now, I have understood human learning. Whatever the human learning I have told, human learning will happen because of what? Because of the experience. Right now, same question I'll be asking in the different manner. How come machine learning will happen? Right now, I got the clarity that human learning will happen because of what? Experience. And what about machine learning? How this machine learning will happen? Or do you think machine learning will happen because of experience? It's a very important question, guys. Not only question, you have to imagine how the machine will learn. As a human being, we can learn through what? Experience. But what about machines? How come machines will learn? Or how this machine learning will happen? 100% it is not because of experience. If your answer is experience, completely it is wrong. Sir, give me some examples, sir. Guys, don't you think computer is a machine? Yes or no? Computer is a machine. Yes or no? 100% computer is a machine. Right now, today I will just bring one laptop. Assume that today I will bring one laptop by giving 1 lakh rupee. Maybe after 5 years, if I'm telling to anyone like this, maybe after 5 years, see, 5 years old laptop, 5 years experience is there for this laptop. Please give me 2 lakhs. Do you think if you're telling like this, he will give 2 lakhs? He will not give 2 lakhs. Something he will give. I cannot tell it in the class. That is the reason machine learning will not happen because of what? Experience. If you're telling my bike, whatever the machine is you're having, correct, right? That bike is having 5 years of experience, it will not be valued more. If you consider your mobile, if you consider your laptop, you cannot tell my mobile is having some experience of 3 years, please give me highest amount. No, you cannot tell like that. But when it comes to human being, ultimately you can tell like that. Yes, I'm having 5 years of experience, I'm expecting more salary, you can tell like that. But when it comes to machine, you cannot expect the same thing from the machine. Right now the question is very simple. How come machine will learn, or how this machine learning will happen? Okay, very good. Guys, don't worry. I'm just seeing all your answers. Whatever the answer you are just telling. Okay. By training the machine. Who will train the machine? Okay. Learning process. How come learning process will happen? With human instruction. How come the human will give the instruction? Okay. Continuous working. How it will continuously work. That is very important. Okay. Data set is used. What is the data set? Okay. Okay. Very good. Oh, I should check what kind of things is there in your mind. How come machine will learn? That is the reason I'm just expecting the answer from your end. Okay, very good, guys. Seriously, I'm very happy by seeing all your responses. Okay, okay, very good. Okay, fine. Don't worry, I will only give you the clarity about how exactly this machine learning will happen, or based upon what this machine learning will happen, or what we have to feed for this machine in order to learn everything I will tell. Listen carefully. Let me just go with the next one. That is the next slide. Right now, it is very important. I want you to understand this machine learning will happen because of what? If you ask me, because of data. Because of this data, this machine learning will happen. Right now, the question is very simple. Okay, sir, we understood because of data, this machine learning will happen. But what do you mean by data? How the data will be segregated? How the data will be generated? Who is responsible to generate the data? Please tell me, whatever the thing I have told, what do you mean by data? Data means in normal terms, information. Data means what? Information, correct, right? Right now, please tell me, How this data will be generated, or who is responsible to generate this data? Guys, it is very simple. As a human being, we are responsible to generate this data. Sir, what, sir? What you're telling, sir? Human beings, how come they will generate the data? Guys, listen carefully. Once, or if a baby is born, don't you think a birth certificate will be given? That is also one data. I will start from scratch. That means if a baby is born, a birth certificate will be given. Maybe after a couple of days, a name will be given. Next, after a couple of days, Aadhaar card will be given. Next, after a couple of years, voter ID will be given. Ration card will be given. Next, if he is doing some education from LKG till the degree, don't you think marks cards will be given? That is also a huge amount of data. Next, DL will be given, marriage certificate, health insurance, life insurance, bank account, Instagram account, Facebook account, LinkedIn account, Naukri account. Guys, like this huge amount of data will be generated by human being. If I consider a single human being throughout his lifespan, a huge amount of data will be segregated. Yes or no? Using one person, we can generate a huge amount of data. Using one person itself, if it is possible to generate a huge amount of data, don't you think billions of people are available in the world? You have to imagine how much amount of data will be generated. Guys, I don't know whether you are aware of this or not. Every year they'll be doing census by government. Yes or no? Government will be doing census in order to collect the data. Oh, why? Why? Because data is having the importance. That is the reason they will be doing all those things. Sir, from that day you're telling data, data, data. That means from that time you're telling data. Please give us some clarity about this data if you ask me. Let me just continue with the session and let me just give you the more clarity about data, or how this data will be collected, or who is responsible to produce this data. Based upon this data, how they are going to take the decision. Guys, in today's world, whatever the decision that will be taken by each and every person, it might be a Sandesh, it might be a college university, it might be Narendra Modi, it might be anyone. Everyone will be taking the decision based upon what? Based upon the data. Correct, right? How many of them will agree with my point? Based upon the data itself, the decision will be taken. Sir, give me some best examples, sir. Today we are conducting some seminar, that means webinar. Based upon what we are conducting the webinar? Based upon the data, most of the students wants to update themselves in the field of AI, machine learning, data science. Uh, by collecting all this data, what the college university did, they have conducted the webinar. That means they have taken a bold decision. The decision is taken by what? Because of data. That's all. Correct, right? Right now, whatever the lockdown, whatever the seal down, whatever the containment zone, all those things that are happening, because of what? How they're going to take and how they're going to take the decision? Because of the data. By seeing the data itself, they'll be taking all the government policies, decision, or whatever it may be, guys. That is the reason data plays a vital role in 2020. Not only in 2020, from 2000, data has been playing a vital role in the IT industry, not only in IT industry, in day-to-day life. If I give the example, you'll understand. Let me just proceed with the thing. All right, now, anyone please tell me what is the population of the world? Any idea? What is the total population of the world? I'm not asking about India. What is the total population of the world? Any idea regarding that? Okay. See here, whatever this huge amount of data will be there, right? This huge amount of data will be generated by what? Population. That means whoever the people that are there in the world. Okay, sir, how many people will be there? Or what is the population of the world? If you ask me, I will just tell this happens to be the population. I want everyone to look at this properly. I think right now they have updated with respect to the population. See here, this is what the exact population. That means it will keep on increasing, correct, right? 7.7 billion people. Guys, you have to imagine 7.7 billion. It is not million. 7.7 billion. What do you mean by 1 billion? 1 million means what? 1 million means what? How many lakhs? 1 million. I'm not asking billion, not B. 1 million. Yum yum. 1 million. 1 million means what? 10 lakh. Similarly, what do you mean by 1 billion? B. 1 billion. Very good. 1 billion means what? See, it's a huge amount of data. That means, guys, you have to imagine 7.7 billion population. That means people are available on the world. Guys, why, sir? Why you are telling all those population? Why? Because already I have told. If you consider a single person, a huge amount of data will be generated. Similarly, if you take 7.7 billion people data, don't you think it's a huge amount of data? It's a very huge amount of data. Next, listen carefully. Out of 7.7 billion people, according to the statistics, according to the Google, it says 5.1 billion people are having smartphone. Sir, smartphone means what? I think right now who are attending the session, that is 400 plus student. Don't you think all of them are having the smartphone in your hand? Yes or no? I think nowadays your grandfather, your grandmother, LKG kid will be having the smartphone. Forget about grandfather, grandmother. A LKG kid will be having the smartphone. That means out of 7.7 billion people, 5.1 billion people are active smartphone users. So how the data will be generated using this smartphone? It is very simple. If 5.1 billion people are having smartphone, among that 5.1 billion people, 4 billion people will be having the access to internet. Sir, I don't have internet, sir. Then you're a confused fellow. You'll be taking the hotspot from your friend. But ultimately, you're also having the access to the internet. That means out of that 5.1 billion people, 4 billion people will be having the access to the internet. Guys, it is very simple. Among these 4 billion people, if you just ask me, how many people or how many of them are active social media users? It might be any application. It might be Facebook, it might be maybe Instagram, it might be WhatsApp, or it might be Gmail, whatever the application. 3.2 billion people will be using the application. Sir, what, sir? If these people are using the application, what is going to happen? What change will be happening? If you ask me, guys, you have to imagine data is very important in today's world. If someone asks me, Sandesh, which is having the very importance in this world, I would not tell gold, I would not tell platinum, I would not tell Mercedes Benz, I will not tell Ferrari car. No, I will tell data. Using data, you can just play like anything. You can become billionaire overnight. Guys, if you just consider Mark Zuckerberg, have you paid any rupees? That means, have you paid any uh, maybe uh, fee for downloading that Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp? Have you paid any fee? 100% no, correct, right? Very good. You have not paid any rupee for that. Then how come they are making the money out of that? It is very simple. You have to understand how much amount of data will be generated in a minute. If you consider a single minute, that means 60 seconds. In 60 seconds, how much amount of data will be generated, and using the data, how they are going to make the money out of that. Using Google, maybe all these things is not imagined by me. Find how much amount of data. You can just Google it out. You can just check it out in Google. Whatever the Google that has been told, in a minute, in a 60-second, how much amount of data will be generated from Instagram application? If you ask me, this much amount of data will be generated. That means, please observe carefully, 46,744 photos is been posted on the Instagram. I think right now some of them might be posting some post in Instagram while attending the class itself. That means in a minute, within 60 seconds, 46,744 photos will be posted on the Instagram. It might be including the video, it might be including the IGTV or whatever it may be. Okay, sir, next what? Next what means, listen carefully. This is all about Instagram. Next, if you consider YouTube, okay, sir, in YouTube, how many videos are watched in a minute across the world? In a minute, within 60 seconds, 42 lakh videos are watched. 42 lakh videos. It is not a one video, two video, 42 lakh video. And next, if I consider Netflix, I think nowadays everyone are aware of this Netflix because of this lockdown. Yes or no? Guys, in Netflix, in a minute, within 60 seconds, 69,444 hours of video is being streamed by every user. Not in a day, within a minute, in a single minute, this much hours of video is being streamed by people. I think in this lockdown, it got doubled or it got tripled. Correct, right? How many of them would have watched the series in Netflix? Money Heist, Dark, or so many of the movies in Netflix. Correct, right? That too because of this lockdown. That means you have to imagine a huge amount of data is being generated, guys. A huge amount of data. Next, if you consider Amazon, right now, because of this pandemic or before this pandemic, Amazon is having the sales in a minute, within 60 seconds. 2 crore sales will happen for Amazon. You have to imagine 2 crore sales in single minute. That means you have to imagine in 1 hour how many amount they will make. In 1 day, how many amount they will make. That is the reason. Who is the CEO of Amazon? Anyone having the clarity about that? He is the richest person in the world. Who is that person? Very good. Jeff Bezos. Guys, don't you think if he is earning 2 crore in a minute, 100% he should be a billionaire. Okay, sir. Next what? Next, if you consider the taxis like Uber or it might be Ola, something like that, 45,000 trips, 45,000 bookings were being made in a single minute across the world. Next, if you consider a teacher, for me, this is what the teacher using this, I have learned so many things. That is Google. In Google, in a minute, 36 lakh search were being made in single minute. Guys, you have to imagine how much amount of data is being generated. Later I will speak using the data, how they are going to play with the data. But first of all, you have to understand what is the source for the data, because of what, how the data will be generated. You have to understand that. If you are getting the clarity about this, ultimately I can just speak on the next topic right now. Don't you think a huge amount of data has been generated? How many of them will agree with my point? In a minute, if these many things are being generated, guys, I have taken only the important application. Still plenty of applications will be available on the market, yes or no? Right now I have taken whichever the important application that is there in the market. But do you think these are the only application? 100% no. Plenty of applications will be there. Using that application or because of that application, a huge amount of data will be generated. Right now my question is very simple. If a huge amount of data is being generated, how to store the data? Guys, don't you think if the data is being generated, we have to store the data? We cannot tell like, no, no, data you get generated, I will not store you. Let the data be wasted. No, no, you cannot tell like that. 100% you cannot tell like that. You have to store the data. By hook or crook, you have to store the data. Guys, right now it is very simple. Assume that if the number of corona cases are getting increased, don't you think government will be having the data? Government cannot tell like this. Okay, maybe in Bangalore, 10,000 corona cases are there. Let us just neglect the data. Let me just move on to the next thing. Like that, they cannot tell. Why? Because data is very important. They have to record the data. They have to store the data. Using the data, what they will do, I will teach. But right now, already I have given the clarity. What is the platform for data or how the data will be generated? Right now, my question is very simple. How this data will be stored? Right now, I know some of them will tell the proper answer. But if you just go back to the couple of years back, maybe a couple of decades back, how they used to store the data, please tell me. Right now, I will tell in 2020 how the huge amount of data is being stored. That I will tell. But I'm speaking about the olden days. In olden days, how they used to store the data? I don't think they used to store the data within ledger. That means within books, within some registers. If it is a small amount of data, easily we can store the data using these books or using these ledgers. But as days progressed, the data become large. That is the reason what they have invented. Whatever the data you can store, that means 100 book data, easily you can store within one floppy disk. Yes or no? You can make use of one floppy disk. I don't know how many of them would have heard about this floppy disk or how many of them would have seen. I think if you are 1990 kids, you are aware of this floppy disk. We used to play with this floppy disk, correct, right? And that means we can store the data within this floppy disk. As days progressed, it is not impossible to store the upcoming data using floppy disk. Because floppy disk is a small storage device. And that is the reason they have invented something called as what? CD, correct, right? Within CD, they can store the data. Till today, CD is being used, CD or DVD. Next, I think nowadays no one are using that CD and DVD apart from storing that marriage videos, all those things. Next, what they have invented, if you ask me, in order to store some data, they have invented something called as what? Pen drive, that is USB drive. Using that pen drive, you can store the data. You can store 100 films within that pen drive. Pen drive is also not sufficient to store the huge amount of data that is generated in this today's world. That is the reason they have invented hard disk. Hard disk is also not sufficient. Sir, what, sir? What you're telling, sir? Hard disk is also not sufficient. Yes, guys. For you as a human being, I think hardly you will be having some 200 movies in your laptop or in your hard disk. That is the reason you might feel like hard disk is sufficient. But please imagine if the data is being generated across the world. Do you think within 1 TB hard disk or within 100 TB hard disk you can store the data? No, it is impossible, correct, right? You cannot store the data within that hard disk drive or not. Okay, sir, how they're storing that huge amount of data? If you ask me, it is very simple. They're storing the data on server. When it comes to server, there are two categories of server. First one happens to be virtual server. Guys, once again, I will utter that word. Listen carefully. In 2020, the huge amount of data is being stored within server. Sir, what is server, sir? What is server? I will tell. But in server, there are two categories. One is virtual server. One more is not virtual server. That is non-virtual server. that is cloud storage. Sir, what do you mean by virtual server, sir? I will just tell like this. See here, if you consider the server like this, they will develop a huge amount of server. Within the server, hard disk, all those things will be present. That means these are the storage devices within server. In order to store the data, this server will be placed within a campus or within a building called as data center. How many of them would have heard about this? Narendra Modi has announced to provide acres of land to Infosys data center. Something like this. Guys, I don't know whether you're aware of this or not. In Mysore, acres of land is been allocated for Infosys in order to build their data center in city outskirts. Might be in Bangalore city outskirts. A huge amount of lands will be given in order to set up this data center. Within data center, nothing will be there. Only data will be there. In order to maintain the data, some of the employees will be there. That's all. Nothing will be there within data center. Only some servers will be there. Within that server, the data will be there. If you just consider data center of Facebook, where is the data center of Facebook? Where is the official server of Facebook? Whatever the data that is being generated across the world from Facebook or from Instagram, where it has been located? I don't think it has been located in America, that is USA. You can just check it out in Google. Yes, in US, that is in America, that particular data center is there. Sir, why the data center is there? In order to collect a huge amount of data that is being generated from Instagram on a daily basis, Facebook on a daily basis, WhatsApp on a daily basis, a huge data centers will be there. Within the data center, what will be there? Ultimately, the server will be there. Right now, you can store the data within cloud. Cloud means you need not to build the data center. If you are having a proper internet connection, I think everyone are aware of cloud. How many of them would have used Gmail? In Gmail, they'll be giving Google Drive. In that, they'll be giving 15 GB of data. Yes or no? How many of them observe these things? If you are having the Gmail account in Google Drive, I think 15 GB of data they will be giving. Do you think you have paid a single rupee for that? If you want to purchase a 16 GB of pen drive, you have to pay something. But in order to store your data, if you're having the internet connection, that 15 GB free of cost given by Gmail, yes or no? Yeah, very good. That is what cloud storage. Guys, you have to understand, guys, you are not in 2000 or 1990 era. You are in 2020 era. You are the future. That is the reason I'm telling all these things. Next, right now, in order to give the name for the all the huge amount of data, they have came up with one name. The name happens to be what? Big data. Sir, why big data? Why? Because the data is very huge. You cannot tell like this. The data is big. That is the reason the name happens to be big data. No, no, no. If the data is being generated in the huge amount, in order to store the data, they'll be using the term called as what? Server. Inside server, they have to store the data. Inside server, what will be stored? Simply, you cannot tell the data. Why? Because it is not small amount of data. That is the reason you have to utter the word big data. Is that fine with respect to everyone? Big data will be stored within the server. Okay, sir, next what you're trying to explain. All right, now let me just show you the chart or picture of the data. Please tell me, initially we used to store the data within server in the form of what? KB, next MB, that is kilobyte, megabyte, next gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, next hexabyte, next zettabyte, next. Right now, yottabyte is there. Like this, it will keep on increasing. That means, guys, don't you think in order to store the data, they're increasing the capacity of the storage device? Yes or no? In order to store a huge amount of data, 100% they have to increase the capacity of the storage device. Previously, they used to store the data in was KB, that is kilobyte, next MB, GB, TB, PB, next EB, that is exabyte, ZB, that is zettabyte, next YB, yottabyte. Like this, it will not stop. It will keep on increasing. Why? Because do you think the data will stop? Is there anyone who will be telling, sir, today after this session, the data will stop, sir? The data will not be generated. No, no, no. Right now, also, whatever the chat you're sending, that is also one data that has been generated. Whatever the data that I am using, whatever the data that you are using to in order to attend the class, that is also data. Whatever the information I have given to Zoom, that is also data. Whatever the name you have given, whatever the login ID you have given, whatever the mail ID you have given in order to attend the session, that is also data. That means data will keep on generating with or without you. If you are there or if you're not there, ultimately data will keep on generating. And that means it is very simple. Guys, there is a booming term in IT industry. What is that, if you ask me? How many of them would have heard about this term? Data is the new oil. How many of them would have heard about this? Data is the new oil. Why they will call this name? Data is the new oil. Simply they cannot tell like this, correct, right? Simply they will not tell. Why they will tell data is the new oil? First of all, you should be getting the clarity about what exactly is oil all about. Then you can just understand what is this data is the new oil. Guys, how many of them would have heard about oil? Very good. Data is the new oil means data is the new source of income. Very good. Using data, you can just make money. Sir, how they are going to make money, sir? Forget about data for a while. Let us just concentrate about oil. If you consider oil, ah, which place is responsible to generate the oil across the world? There is one place. What is that place name? Everyone are millionaires in that particular place. Can you just tell me that place? Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, correct, right? They're having oil. What they will do? They will just extract the oil in this manner. They will just extract the oil. Where the oil will be there? Guys, don't you think in the underground the oil will be there? They have to extract the oil from the underground using some machineries, using some mechanism. They have to extract the oil. After extracting, they will be getting that oil. Do you think soon after extracting the oil, do you think that oil can be used for anything? Yes or no? Whatever the oil they will extract, directly they can use 100% no. They cannot use that oil. It is a useless oil. Sir, what, sir? What you're telling? It is a useless oil. Yes. Why? Because it is technically called as what? Crude oil. You cannot use the crude oil. You have to purify. That means you have to extract some purified form of the oil. If you extract one step, you'll be getting kerosene. That kerosene can be used in cooking. Next, further, if you extract, you'll be getting petrol or diesel from that crude oil, from that oil. That means you can use that particular oil in order to run your bike or in order to run your car or in order to run your vehicle. Correct, right? If you purify first step, you'll be getting kerosene. You can just use for cooking. Similarly, if you one step purify, you'll be getting what? Petrol or diesel. You can just use it for your car or bike. Still, if you purify something, you'll get what is that? Still, if you purify petrol or diesel, something you'll get. What is that? Very good. You'll be getting white petrol. uh, where that white petrol will be used? Don't you think that white petrol will be used in order to run the aeroplane or flights? That means what you have to understand from this, if you ask me, do you think whatever the oil that has been extracted directly, it is used or useless? Please tell me the answer. Directly, if you extract the oil, it is used or useless? 100% it is useless. But if you purify that oil, don't you think in today's world, I don't know what is the price of petrol. I think you'll be having the clarity. Why? Because it will keep on varying. I think petrol is 84 or 85, correct, right? For 1 liter petrol, 85 rupees. What is the amount for diesel? For 1 liter diesel, I think 78 or 77. I mean, day before yesterday, I have gone to petrol bunk. That is the reason. It is not 70. If you are in 70, that is long back. You have refueled your vehicle. 77 or 78? Yes or no? Diesel. I'm speaking in Bangalore. In Bangalore, it is 77 or 78. That means you have to understand there is a huge demand for that oil if it is getting extracted. Correct, right? Similarly, do you think if the huge amount of data is being generated by Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Aadhaar card, blah, 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 whatever it may be, do you think it is use or useless? If a huge amount of data is there, useful or useless? I want the answer from your end. Please tell me the answer. Very good. If someone is telling useful, no. Guys, I will try to correlate oil with the data. Please try to tell the answer from keeping that oil in your mind. It is useless. If a huge amount of data is there, it is useless. Then what we are supposed to do? Tell me the answer. I think everyone are having the common sense to tell the answer for this one. Very good. If you filter the data, if you refine the data, if you extract the important data, then don't you think it is having a huge amount of value in the market? Yes or no? Similarly, how exactly oil is useful. That means if you extract, if you purify, in the same manner, if the raw data is there, there is no use for raw data. You cannot use that raw data. You have to segregate, you have to purify. Using what they will segregate, that is what you have to understand. Is that clear, guys? Right now, still now, whatever I have told, what is data, what is the platform for data, how the data will be segregated. Next, after getting the data, what you are supposed to perform, everything I have told. Right now, it is very simple. How to perform the extraction or how to purify the data. That is what I have to teach for you. It is very simple. How many of them would have heard about statistics? I think in your college days, you would have heard about statistics. Maybe in mathematics, this term you'll be hearing in mathematics. Correct, right? Using these statistics, using this term called as statistics by applying some mean, mode, median, some by writing some charts or whatever it may be, you'll be understanding the data. Yes or no? Guys, you just do one thing. You just give me your marks from first semester to eighth semester. I will tell what kind of person you are. Sir, by seeing our marks, how come you will tell what kind of person I am? I will just go through your marks. I will plot one graph. I will apply some algorithm. I will just tell whether you are a consistent person or not. In first semester 60%, in second semester 65, in third semester 35. What happened in third semester? Next, in fourth semester 80%. I will tell whether you're a consistent person or not by seeing your marks. Yes or no? By seeing your marks, we can just tell what kind of person you are. Ultimately, we cannot judge your knowledge, but easily we can tell whether you are having the interest towards your study or not by seeing your marks card. That means whether you are a consistent student or not by doing the statistics. Correct, right? That means statistics is used by human beings. That means as a human being, by using the statistics, we can understand the data. Guys, is there any doubt for anyone? Is that clear? Using the field called as what? Statistics. As a human being, we can understand the data. In the interview panel or tomorrow, if someone is asking, as a human being, how you're going to understand the data, your answer should be very simple. Using statistics, we can understand the data. Okay, sir, next what? Right now, please tell me. I will just tell like this. Right now, there are 400 plus students who are attending the session. Assume that if I want to understand all your data, as a human being, I will be having patience to understand all your data. Yes or no? As a human being, I'm also a human being. As a human being, do you think I'll be having patience? 100% no. Guys, who will worry about all that 400 data? What we will do? Do you think I will call to each and every person? How was the class? How was the class? No. What we will do, we will make use of the technology. Technology means what? In order to understand the data, a manpower should not be used. A manpower should be used as a helping hand. That's all. Correct, right? That means we are supposed to use something. What is that something? As a human being, we cannot segregate the data. Guys, ultimately, whatever the answer you're telling, Google form, poll, feedback form, that is correct. But what I'm trying to tell, as a human being, assume that if I want to get the feedback from you, directly I can call. But instead of that, something I can use. What is that? Some technology I can use. I'm not asking the exact name of the technology. I'm just asking what kind of machine you will use. That is very important. As a human being, we require food. As a human being, we require water. We'll be having emotions. We'll be having some time duration. But one machine is there. Using that machine, we can perform the task. We need not to provide the food. We need not to provide the water. That machine will not be having boyfriend and girlfriend. That machine requires only something called as electricity. What is that machine name? Very good. That machine happens to be what? Computer. It might be computer, or it might be your laptop, or it might be your desktop, or it might be your mobile. That means machine I can tell. Yes or no? That means using that machine, we can reduce our burden. We can reduce our effort. Correct or not? Guys, as a human being, it is very frustrating for us to do the task repeatedly in order to understand the data. That is the reason we have to take the help of what? Machine. Using machine. Right now, I will tell one technical term. Try to understand. I want everyone to listen properly. As a human being, I will be using what? Statistics. Why? Because I'm aware of statistics. As a human being, if I'm using statistics upon this computer, using some software. Okay, sir, what kind of software will make use of? I think if you're from electronic background, you would have used MATLAB. How many of them would have used MATLAB? How many of them are aware of MATLAB? Very good. Using that MATLAB, something they will do. What is that? Using that MATLAB, something they will do. What is that? Very good. Don't you think one graph you will get? I think MATLAB lab is also there in I don't remember which semester. Uh, for the external, don't you think you have showed some graph? You are also not having the clarity about what kind of graph you got. Simply, I'm just kidding. That's all. That means listen carefully. Using this MATLAB, using this software, you will be writing that graph. You will be getting one graph. If you provide the data, that means it is very simple, guys. As a human being, if you know how to play with the statistics, if you are aware of the statistics, using this computer science, one hand statistics will be there, in one more side computer science will be there. If you combine the statistics and computer science technology, what it is exactly called as, if you ask me, that is what data science. That's all. I think right now everyone got the clarity about what exactly data science. Data science is a combination of statistics and computer science. In computer science, it might be including the machine, it might be including the software, it might be including any other technology. But using statistics, if you are using that computer science put together, is called as what? Data science. Is there any doubt for anyone? I'm just asking you the definition, that's all. Guys, in 1 hour or in 2 hours, I cannot teach you the complete topics that are available in data science. That is not be happening by any of the trainer. But at least you got the clarity about what exactly data science is. What do you mean by data science? It is very simple. Data science is a combination of statistics and computer science. One more question I will ask. As a human being, right now I'm sitting in front of my laptop. Fine. I will make use of statistics. I will make use of computer science, and I will just assume that I'm a data scientist who is performing data science. Do you think on a daily basis is that possible to perform by me? Same task. Assume that same task I have to perform. Today morning I have to do the data segregation. Tomorrow morning I have to do the data segregation. Day after tomorrow I have to do the data segregation. Do you think that is the best approach as a human being we can do that? 100% no. If you are aware of data science also, if you are using statistics, if you are using computer science, as a human being, please try to understand you should not do the task repeatedly. Apart from eating food, you should not do any task repeatedly. Correct, right? That means try to understand what they have invented in order to perform the task repeatedly. If you ask me, I will just tell like this. Please try to understand. I want everyone to look at this properly. Let me just consider the next slide, that is data science. Please listen carefully. Using this data science, whatever the strategy is there, they will just apply these data science strategies in order to take some decision. Okay, sir, what kind of decision they will take? It is very simple. Data driven decision is what they will be taking using this data science. That means whatever the data they have segregated, afterwards I will tell how this data will be manipulated. And as a human being, we need not to perform the data segregation on a daily basis. Automatically it will be done. How automatically it will be done, that I will tell. But right now, please try to understand using that huge amount of data after segregating as a human being, how to play with the data. It is very simple. They will apply that algorithm, they will just apply some data scientific formulas, and they'll be getting some statistics. Assume that I will take the example of Flipkart. Flipkart will see the revenue along with the month. In the month of January, this is what the revenue they got. In the month of February, this is what the revenue. In the month of March, this is what the revenue. If they look at the revenue in the month of April, suddenly there is a drastic change in the revenue in the month of April. At that point of time, they will see the data in the month of March and April. Yes or no? If there is a drastic change from March to April, don't you think they have to compare the data from March and April? Why? Because they have to understand what happened in the month of March, what happened in the month of April, what made Flipkart to gain more revenue in the month of April. They will perform some analyzation. That means they'll be performing some algorithms. They'll be applying some statistics to understand what happened from March to April. At that point of time, maybe the persons will like Sachin Bansali. That means right now he is not the CEO of Flipkart, but ultimately I'm just telling what they have understood is revenue is directly proportional to what? Unique visitors. That means if a new visitor is visiting Flipkart, revenue will be increased. Sir, how come the revenue will be increased, sir? I will tell how come the revenue will be increased. Guys, please try to understand what they found is what? Revenue is directly proportional to what? Unique visitors. If the number of unique visitors are increased, then revenue will be increased. Keeping these things in mind, they came up with new ideology. Sir, what is that ideology? Maybe they thought what can be done for Flipkart in order to increase the revenue. That is the reason they came up with a solution. Sir, what is the solution? It is very simple. Don't you think they'll be giving the offer like Big Billion Day, Great Great Independence Sale, something like that? Yes or no? 30% off, 50% off, 80% off, 100% off. Like this, they'll be doing some gimmicks and all. Yes or no? Ah, correct, right? Why they'll be doing that gimmicks? It is very simple, guys. Assume that the price of one mobile phone is 10,000. Instead of giving that mobile phone for 10,000, what they will do? They will post the actual price as 25,000. Then they will tell what? 25,000 mobile is been given for 12,000. That point of time, you will not see that mobile price is 10,000. Your mind will see that 25,000 is been reduced to what? 12,000. Oh, 50% offer they are giving. You will force your parent and you will also buy that mobile. Correct, right? That means if the number of unique visitors are increased, don't you think directly it will increase the revenue? Like this, I can just keep on giving you the plenty of example based upon the data, how they are going to make the money out of it. All right, now listen carefully. Let me just explain you. If the data is being generated in a drastic manner, that means right now you got the clarity about what is data science. What is data science? It is the combination of statistics and computer science. Using that as a human being on a daily basis, I have to perform some task. That means I have to instruct or I have to write the logic and I have to monitor that logic. Yes or no? On a daily basis, I have to monitor the logic. That means I have to perform some data science activities. But as a human being, at some point of time, they got frustrated in order to perform this task on a daily basis. That is the reason what they thought, okay, let us just train some machine in order to do this task on a daily basis. At that point of time, they have to use one programming language in order to train the machine. In order to train the machine to perform some statistics in order to get the output, they should be using one programming language. Why? Because machine will understand what? Only the language, correct, right? If you want to instruct the machine, you have to use the programming language. Using that programming language only, you can perform the task. That is only technically called as machine learning, or some of them might be calling it as machine learning model. What do you mean by machine learning model? In order to perform data science part, already you got the clarity about what is data science. It is the combination of statistics and computer science. Next, as a human being on a daily basis, I cannot perform the task. That is the reason what I will do. I will train this computer in order to perform the data science activities using a programming language. Right now, if you ask me, sir, which programming language I have to use, sir, the one and only programming language that will be used in the field of data science happens to be what? Python. Sir, why they have to use Python? Why cannot they use C? Why cannot they use Java in order to write the program for data science activities? It is very simple. Some of them might be using our language as well, but I'm just telling about most frequently used language. Is that fine? I'm not telling everyone will be using Python. No, almost 80 to 85% of the people across the world, they'll be using Python in order to perform machine learning. Guys, right now, how many of them got the clarity about what exactly data science? Guys, forget about what is there in data science, what are the topics, what are the algorithm. At least, how many of them got the basic idea about what is data science? Next, how many of them got the basic idea about what do you mean by machine learning? Machine learning is very simple. Using a programming language, if you try to write the logic in such a way that machine will learn automatically and it will perform some action, that is only called as what? Machine learning. So then what do you mean by artificial intelligence, sir? Using these two things, if you're performing some task, that is just a name, guys, that's all. Artificial intelligence is just a name. Is that fine? There is, if you want, I can just tell you the definition. But using this data science, if you're performing that machine learning, there is a technical term for that. What is that? Artificial intelligence. Guys, don't you think right now, if you consider what I can take, how many of them would have heard about Tesla? How many of them would have heard about Tesla? Are you aware of Tesla? Tesla means automatic car. A driver is not required for that. Automatically it will drive. Sir, how come automatically it will drive, sir? It is very simple. Don't you think they would have done the statistics? Yes or no? You just tell me yes or no. They would have done the statistics later. After doing the statistics, don't you think using some computer science technology they have combined and they would have done data science part? Yes or no? Using the statistics, using the computer science, they have done the data science part. Next, as a human being, they cannot instruct, correct, right? They cannot instruct. That is the reason, using a programming language, they have done that machine to learn by itself. Yes or no? If it is left, it has to take left. If it is right, it has to take right. If the car wants to go in 60 kilometers per hour, it has to go. That means, don't you think using the language they will just try to instruct the machine in order to learn by itself? Yes or no? Every time you cannot teach the machine. Right now I'm teaching you, like do you think you will teach the Tesla car take left, Tesla car take right, Tesla car apply brake? No, no, you cannot tell like that. Ultimately those things would be done by Tesla car itself. That means you have to understand, guys, that is what machine learning. If you consider Tesla car, assume that as a normal person, if you're just looking at the Tesla car, don't you think you will tell Tesla car is the best example for artificial intelligence? Yes or no? Tesla car is the best example for artificial intelligence. That means, guys, first of all, before learning any topic, first try to understand the foundation of the topic, what exactly the topic is all about. Right now, it is very simple. My intention is why Python will be used extensively in the field of ML or data science or machine learning. If you ask me, it is very simple. The syntax is very simple. Guys, to be frank with you, whatever the syntax you have learned in C, I think C is not a beginner's language. I think C is a very good programming language, evergreen programming language. That is my favorite programming language. But ultimately, C programming language is not a beginner's language. Why? Because syntax is very simple. Guys, don't you think? How many of them will agree with my point? Including me, including all the lecturers. Maybe you would have done your engineering days, correct? Right? Don't you think you felt C is very difficult initially? I'm not telling after maybe as days progressed, you felt C is very easy. But first day, if you just look at the C program, don't you think you got shocked? Something and all is there. How come as a human being I can learn this? Correct, right? It's a reality. Why? Because syntax is very difficult. I'm not telling subject is very difficult. No, subject is very easy. But syntax is very difficult when compared to all the programming languages. That means Python syntax is very simple, as well as so many built-in libraries will be available in Python. That is the reason they will make use of what Python extensively in the field of ML, that is machine learning, in the field of data science, in the field of artificial intelligence. If you just consider data science, what kind of libraries that are used? There are plenty of libraries that are used in the field of data science. It might be NumPy, it might be Pandas, it might be Matplotlib, it might be SkyPy. Like this, plenty of libraries will be there. Plenty of libraries supported by Python. That is the reason Python is extensively used in the field of what? Data science. Guys, at least, how many of them got the clarity about what exactly data science is? Guys, it is very simple. You have to understand what exactly this data science, and you have to understand what is this AI and how these terminologies are interconnected. Don't you think machine learning, artificial intelligence, as well as data science, these things are interconnected? Yes or no? How many of them will agree with my point? Yes, right now, no one can teach the algorithm or no one can write the logic. If you want, I would be very happiest person to teach you Python. 100% I'm very happiest person to teach you Python. But in 1 hour, do you think it is possible to teach complete Python? No, it is not possible. But at least, don't you think I have given the clarity about all these things? Yes or no? How many of them will agree with my point? I have just taken the initiative and I have just given the clarity about these terminologies. So using this, what kind of things will be done? If you just ask me, I will just tell like this. Right now, yes, right now, because of this pandemic, do you think a person is visiting a doctor? Yes or no? Assume that if you are not feeling well right now, forget about in India. I think in India it's been implemented slowly, but in the western countries, still the session is not completed. See here, in the western countries, no one is going and no one is contacting the doctor. Sir, why they're not contacting doctor? Because of this COVID-19. Assume that if they are going to hospital and if they are visiting that particular place, 100% they might be getting COVID-19. Instead of that, don't you think if you're sitting in your home, if you're feeling headache, if you're feeling stomach pain, if you're getting the tablets to your home, don't you think it is a very high-end technology? Yes or no? In India also that should happen. In India, assume that if you're feeling headache, what you will do? You will take the tablet, you will sleep. But if there is any other disease, ultimately you have to contact the doctor. Without doctor, there is nothing, correct, right? But in this pandemic, that too in the situation, do you think it is a preferable one in order to visit a doctor? How many of them will tell yes? 100% no. If you are facing fever, something like that, then 100% have to contact the doctor. There is no way in that. Don't hesitate. Please don't have that social stigma. If you are getting COVID-19, if you are having that fever, don't hesitate, guys. Nothing. It is just a disease. That's all. Fine. Please go and visit doctor. But apart from that, if you are feeling some uncomfortableness, all those things, some small headache, you need not to visit a doctor. In future, what will happen if you ask me? What the doctor will do? Assume that if you are going and visiting a doctor, what he will do? I will tell. Why? Because I'm also a son of doctor. My father is a doctor who is working in care hospital. What they will do? They will just ask, okay, headache, okay, just tell me whether left side is paining or right side. If a patient is telling doctor left side, doctor, they will just tell in left side which part. They will tell doctor maybe in left side back portion, doctor. Next patient, doctor will ask, repeatedly you're getting that headache, or in the evening time you're getting, or in the morning time you're getting, or complete day you'll be having that headache. That person will tell, doctor, I'm getting this headache only in the evening, doctor. Morning on while sleeping I'll not be getting. Maybe exactly in the evening time I'll be getting. I don't think doctor, they would have done their MBBS. That is the reason they'll be having the clarity which disease is responsible to give that headache on the evening time, that too in the left hand side. Yes or no? They'll be having some details related to the disease. By doing their analyzation, why? Because already they are having the experience by reading the books, correct, right? They will just give the prescription. Yes or no, guys? This is how the things will work. Yes or no? 100% yes. Same task, don't you think, can be replaced by a robot or application? Sir, how, sir? How a doctor can be replaced, sir? It is very simple, guys. Assume that if you are feeling headache, you can just open the application in your mobile. You can talk with that robot. Robot, I'm having headache. Robot will ask left side or right side. You will tell robot, left side headache is paining. A robot will ask one more question. Which part is paining, front part or back part? You will tell back part. Next question robot will ask. You will be getting this headache on the morning or evening or in the night. You will tell evening part. If you tell evening, that particular robot will tell, I'm not 100% sure. 99% of the doctor will tell this is what the exact disease. If you want the prescription, if you want the tablets for this disease, click on this button. Within 30 minutes, that particular tablets will be delivered to your home. Don't you think if this technology is there in India, it is very helpful? Yes or no? Whatever the thing I have told, do you think it is very helpful for the human being? Guys, this technology, this is not my imagination. This is not Sandesh imagination. This is there in the Western countries. That software name, which got released by Amazon, happens to be Babylon. That software is Babylon. Using that software, they're taking this prescription like this. There is no side effect or there is no wrong prescription given for a single person also. Why? Because ultimately humans would have learned through the books. If you make that machine to learn, don't you think same prescription will be given by machine also? Yes or no? Guys, not now, maybe in future, 100% these things will come. I think if the technology is coming in India, you will remember maybe that day that fellow told like this one technology will come in India. Right now we are in the technology 100% in couple of months, not couple of year, in couple of months this technology will come. I'm damn sure about this. If you just look at this pandemic, don't you think 100% this pandemic will take some time to eradicate, to find the vaccine or blah blah blah, whatever it may be, correct, right? That is the reason, whatever the technology I have told, don't you think this technology is very useful there? Yes, very good. This technology is very useful. Guys, it is very simple. As a student, not as a student, as a human being, please don't try to be a frog in a well. Please don't try to be a frog in a well. Right now, some of them might be feeling difficult, like, sir, external exam will be there, sir. That is only very difficult. Internals will be there, sir. That is only very difficult. If you're feeling or if you're making some boundary to yourself, you are just a frog in a well. That's all. Guys, please do update yourself. Technology is way beyond your imagination. Fine, there is something called as river, there is something called as ocean, there is something called as sea. Please update yourself in the field of technology. Okay, sir, right now we got rejuvenated, we got the interest, and right now we got the clarity. The future happens to be the machine learning, AI, and data science. Guys, one more example I would like to give. How many of them are using Amazon and Facebook? How many of them are having both the account, Amazon and Facebook? Or don't you think you just do one thing today itself? Open Amazon. Just keep on seeing one product. Assume that you like a shoe. Keep on seeing that shoe. Suddenly open Facebook. Don't you think whatever the shoe that you are seeing in Amazon, it will be displayed as the ad in Facebook? How many of them observe these things? Yes or no? Tell me if I'm wrong. Correct, right? 100% those things will be displayed. If you feel like, sir, someone is spying on me, sir, someone would have hacked my account, sir. No one has hacked your account. That is what the technology, that is AI. They are using your data. Using your data, they are making money out of it. That's all. Is that clear? Guys, 100% there is a future when it comes to machine learning, artificial intelligence, and data science. In order to learn those things, simply you cannot tell like this, I will learn data science, I will learn machine learning, I will learn this. No, no, no. First of all, you should be getting the clarity about the languages, or no? In order to learn all those things, already I have told, Python is used. Python will be used. And that is the reason right now. First, try to learn Python. Not only Python, guys. If you want to update yourself, you have to learn Java, you have to learn other programming language as well. But if you want to go in the field of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, 100% you have to learn only one language, one and only language, that is Python. Okay, sir, how to learn Python? I think already in your college days, you would have learned Python. Or some of them, if you feel like, no, sir, I want to learn Python from you. Already I have told, maybe in the initially, I have given the quick introduction about myself. There is, I think you are aware of my name. Myself is Sandesh. We have started a new venture. Already it's been started. The name of my institute or my training institute happens to be Study Online. Fine. Sir, what exactly the study online is all about, or how the study online is helping the student community, if you ask me? There are two reasons in this pandemic. First one, students are getting confused, or students are feeling very difficulty to get their job because of this job crisis that is happening in the IT industry. And second one, there is no proper offline training that is available because of this restriction. Correct, right? There is no proper offline training. That is the reason. Guys, it is very simple. If you are going for offline class, don't you think you have to pay some 50,000 of fees, and you have to pay the rent for PG, and you have to invest your time to travel, all those things? But do you think offline training is best, online training is best? Which one you will prefer? Guys, ultimately you will enjoy offline training. I will agree with that. Ultimately, I am also an offline trainer. I have trained thousands of students when it comes to technology. But at this situation, I'm just, please try to understand my question. At this situation, at this exact pandemic situation, which one you will prefer? At this pandemic, forget about offline. I will also prefer offline. But at this pandemic situation, do you think offline is the better one? No, you cannot go offline, guys. Why? Because who knows what will happen. But online training is the best platform if you know how to utilize that. That's all. If you know how to train the candidates online, it's a best platform, if you ask me, to be frank. Why? Because ultimately you should be having a mobile earphone, and whenever you're attending the classes, make sure that you're in a proper place. It might be your college class, it might be any other classes. Please sit in a proper place where there's a proper network, and invest yourself by having some very good Wi-Fi connection. And if you're having a very good internet connection through your mobile provider, fine. If not, a proper Wi-Fi connection should be there. Now only I'm telling, that is what the initial investment that you're doing in this pandemic. No, sir, I will not have Wi-Fi, sir. Guys, how come without Wi-Fi you will be getting the proper internet? Do you think you can rely on Geo, or you can rely on Airtel? How many of them will rely on Geo or Airtel or Vodafone? 100% we cannot rely on them, correct, right? Who knows? Suddenly this network will not be there. Sometimes network will be good, sometimes network will be moderate. That is the reason, please invest yourself on a proper internet connection in order to update yourself. Right now, keeping all these things in mind, some of the students are struggling, and some of the experienced candidate wants to update themselves in the field of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. That is the reason we study online came up with some new courses that are trending in the IT industry. We will teach complete Python, the to end-to-end Python, whatever the topic that has to be there. Each and every topic will be taught in Python. Similarly, we are starting with a new batch for Java also. Regarding Python, regarding Java, I will let you know. But let me just show you whatever there in the bucket of study online, so that you would be getting the clarity. Yeah, let me just minimize this one. I think the screen is visible for everyone. Yeah, I will give the link. Don't worry, I will give the link. Guys, listen carefully. First, listen carefully. I would like to open whatever the Python course that are available in study online. That means that is coming Monday. That means coming Monday means tomorrow. Fine. Tomorrow we will be starting with a brand new course for Python. Listen carefully. I will just tell this happens to be the brand new course for Python. See here, that is coming Monday. The time happens to be 8 a.m. 3 free demo classes. Sir, why these 3 free demo classes? You need not to pay a single rupee for that. Fine, attend 3 free demo classes. If you feel the content is solid, and if you feel the person can teach in a very better way, you can just take up the course. That is up to your wish. Regarding the course details, tomorrow in the class I will tell. I am the person who is going to take this Python course. In detail I will speak regarding Python. That means complete Python I will teach. No, sir, I want to learn extra things in Python. That means some of them might be feeling like I should be learning Python full stack web development with a famous framework called as Django and REST API. Maybe before the introduction, your HOD told Python will be extensively used in Django and REST API. That means there is a huge demand for this Django and REST API. If you want to learn, yes, ultimately you can just take up this course. No, sir, I want to learn Python as well as Java, sir. If you want Java, yes, there is a Java course as well in our bucket. That is Java course. See here, this is what the Java course. I think it's not. Yeah, fine. This is what the Java course that we are having. Next, see here. When it comes to Java, not only Java, we'll be teaching Java, J2EE, Hibernate, Spring, Maven, GitHub, JUnit. Everything we'll be teaching. I know for some of them it might look like a new terminologies, but attend 3 free demo classes. When it comes to Java, tomorrow it will be starting. The time happens to be 4 p.m. See here, the timings is 4 p.m. Guys, and one more thing, because of any issues, if you would have missed the classes, on a daily basis, we will provide you the recordings of the class. You can just access using your mail ID, whatever I have provided. That is what the best option I can give. Why? Because if you're attending the online classes, ultimately.
Sandesh, can we share the feedback link as well as a certificate link?
Yeah, sure, sir, sure. I will just share you the registration link in order to register. I think everyone can access this. Afterwards, you can just share that, sir. Yeah, everyone, you can just give me 2 minutes. I will let you know when you have to share that feedback link. Is that fine? Just 2 minutes.
Yeah, fine.
Fine.
Guys, hello. This is Dayanand. Kindly fill up the feedback link as well as if you fill the link, you'll get a e-certificate, the mail which you have registered with. I hope we can end, Sandesh, after a few minutes, after 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, sir. You can just share the feedback, sir. That is the link in the chat box. You can share. Everyone can access that.
Yeah, I think you have only shared the same link, right?
No. I think you have not given that link, that feedback link. If you are giving the feedback link, I'll just share it here. Guys, don't get exited from the session. We will be sharing you the feedback link. We'll be sharing you the feedback link so that you can just give the feedback regarding that. And if you're having any queries regarding the
I have shared to your WhatsApp, Sandesh.
Sure, sir. Sure. I'll just open the WhatsApp. Just a minute.
Open that and just share it here.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute. I'll just do that. And if you're having any queries, you can just text in the chat box, guys. If you're having any queries related.
Any questions you can ask participants.
And one more important announcement I have to do.
Please paste that in chat box.
I'll do that. I'm just sharing the screen. That's the reason. Yeah, guys, see here. Yeah. Just a minute. I'll just share you this link. You can just give your feedback related to the session. How was the session? All those things. And some of them might be asking related to the course, whatever I have told. I'll be sharing you the form. You can just click on this form and you can just fill the details. And for more queries, you can just contact me. I will just tell the Instagram page that happens to be Study Online 2020. I think everyone are there in Instagram. Or if you want to contact me via phone, you can just call me for this number. If you're having any queries related to Python, or if you want the guidance from my end, you can just always call me. No need to hesitate. This is my phone number. And if you want to contact me through my mail, always you can just contact me. The mail ID happens to be sandesh.studyonline@gmail.com. You can just take the screenshot of this. If you want, I'll just give the Facebook as well. It is Study Online. If you want to attend the demo classes, whatever I have told, yes, you can just register yourself and attend the 3 free demo classes. Later you can decide. Guys, regarding Python, I'll be speaking in the demo class, and I'll just hand over the things to Dayanand sir. Yeah, sir, you can just speak related to that.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for participating with a good enthusiasm. So I have shared the link. Please fill the link. I mean, it's about the feedback, how the webinar was, as well with your e-certificate, which you'll receive. If you fill and submit it, automatically you'll receive your certificate in your mail, which you have registered with. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating in the session. And I'm very thankful to the organization where I'm working, which gave me an opportunity to organize this, as well the organizers. But I thank HOD also, director, president, everyone here for giving me an opportunity to host this. In fact, with this, our student GUSAC team is also there by name Akshay and Shreyas. So many people are like, those are the organizers from the student side. So I'm very thankful to everyone who want to be a part of this. Thank you.
And seriously, I should be saying thanks for each and everyone for giving me the opportunity. Not only the organization, for the students for attending the session for 1.5 hours. I think it is very difficult for a student to attend the online class nowadays. Correct, right? I think I have given my best to train you what exactly data science, what exactly machine learning. If you are having any queries, last 5 minutes, I just want to interact with you guys. I will treat my students as my friends. Fine, treat me as your friend, and please ask me if you're having any queries. And
Sandesh, please give some unmute permission, or else they can chat in chat box.
no, sorry. If I just unmute, it will be very difficult. Why? Because everyone will be unmuted. Some
They
unwanted.
can ask questions through this one. Someone was asking, like,
Yeah, in chat box they can ask. In chat box they can ask.
they were telling like how much it will cost for Python course, something like that.
So regarding the course fee structure, everything I will tell in the demo class.
Okay.
In the demo class, I will tell regarding the course details, the duration, each and everything I will tell in demo class. If you just ask me in right now for Python, it is 4,000 for complete end-to-end Python. Okay, guys, I think you got the registration link and you got the feedback form as well. Yeah, please contact me either using the Instagram or whatever it may be. That is Facebook or phone number. 100%. I will let you know all your answers. Is that fine? I will be teaching Python from scratch. If you are from any other background, it might be mechanical, civil, EC, triple E or CS, whatever it may be. I will teach from scratch and I will be giving the certificate as well. Sir, and students are asking for e-certificate.
It will automatically go to their registered Gmail ID.
Fine, guys. The certificate will be sent for your registered mail ID, whatever the mail ID you have given while registering.
Actually, sir, would like to talk, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Actually, sir. Praman, sir. It's okay.
I think he's not there in the session. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Sandesh, I think please paste the this one tiny URL link
Sure.
again.
Okay, sir. Fine.
E-certificate link.
Yeah. Yeah, I have posted.
Yeah. Just wait. Many people are filling up right now.
Sure. If you are done with the session, that means if you are done with by asking the question, or if you are having any.
Someone is raising hand. Priyanka and Divya is raising the hand.
Okay.
Please unmute them. At least.
Yeah, sure. I think they can ask the question in chat box. Maybe I have just made the chat public. That means everyone can see the chat.
Okay. Yeah, Divya, any question? You can type in chat box.
Yeah, you can just type in chat box. Yeah, you can develop the application using Python. Someone is asking, sir, is that possible to develop the application right now? Okay. Guys, I just want you to show you something. Okay. Just see here. I don't know how many of them are aware of these things. Do you think Google has been developed by which application? How many of them are aware of those things? See here, if you want, I can just show you. This is the doubt of one student. I will just tell application developed using Python. You only see Instagram, Spotify, Dropbox, Pinterest, Uber. Like this, plenty of applications are developed using Python. Not only Python, some of the small technologies will be used. Similarly, they'll be using Java as well. Guys, using Python and Django framework, you can develop the application like Book My Show, WhatsApp, it might be Amazon, it might be any other application that I will take care in the course. I want everyone to take the screenshot of this. Please take the screenshot of this one. The duration of demo class happens to be 8 to 9:30. 1.5 hour I'll take, and I'll be providing you the recorded video if you are attending the session. Is there any other question? Sir, only Python. Not only Python, already I have told. We are having Python with Django REST API, Java complete full stack. Okay. Any other questions? And one person is asking, sir, how many months it will take? Regarding the course, everything I will speak in the demo class. There is a reason 3 free demo classes there. Don't pay anything. If you are interested, you can join. But my sincere request is to attend the class so that you'll be getting some knowledge. Which API is best to develop the app? You can just use any API, but if you're using Python, I think using Django REST API, you can develop the application. There is a technology called as Django REST API. Using that, you can develop the application. Okay, if you're not having any queries, let me just conclude the session. Is that fine, guys? Shall I conclude the session? Is that fine for everyone?
Please type yes in the chat box so that we can conclude the session. Or else if you have any questions, please type in the chat box.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, sir. First of all, I should thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sandesh. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. We'll just end the session.
Sir, in some question.
Yeah.
Any need of hardware for the application that you spoke, being electronic student, as this?
Okay. Maybe so many questions for that, right? Maybe some question got skipped. Okay. There is no need of hardware thing. If I'm teaching Python or Java, there is no need to learn the hardware things. It is completely related to the software. It is a software course. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. If possible,
can we develop an Android app by our own?
100% you can develop the Android application on your own. Why can't?
Using Python?
Yeah, using Python you can develop, but preferably in order to develop the Android application, they'll be using Java. Okay. Preferably.
Then what is data archiving they're asking?
It's just like analyzing the data. That means if a huge amount of data is there, assume that you just want to segregate the data in a proper way. A technical term that is used called as data archiving. Okay. So when the demo class, already I have told the demo class is on tomorrow, Python 8 a.m., Java 4 p.m. Next, any other questions?
Sandesh, they have like how practical things you can show. Will there be any lab kind of thing?
Sir, I'll be teaching 2 projects for them. When it comes to Java, we will be dealing 2 projects. When it comes to Python, I will teach them 2 hands-on projects. Why? Because if they're attending the interview, no one is going to ask the simple technical questions. Along with the simple technical question, they'll be asking, what are the projects that you have done? Correct, right? 100%. If you're attending a drive as a fresher, they'll be asking whatever your final year project, whatever I have done, along with if you are equipping yourself with the technologies like Java, Python, what are the projects that you have done? That is the reason we will be teaching you 2 projects, the 2 hands-on projects. The real-time projects will be teaching. Java is preferable to Python for Android application. When compared to Python, you can use Java in Android application, but for web application, you can just make use of this one. Yeah, okay. Some of them are telling, sir, still I'm second year passed out. Irrespective of first year, second year, if you are a person who is 10th passed out, fine. If you are able to understand the normal English, I will teach you Python. That is my guarantee for you. Yeah, you can just.
How many days course they're asking, sir?
How many days course? For Python, it is 3 months course. Monday to Friday, we'll be having the class. If you miss any of the classes, we'll be providing the recorded videos of that session. For Python, it is 3 months. If you're taking Python, Django, REST API projects, it would take around 5 months for complete end-to-end Python. Same thing applies for Java as well. Can you say Java timings? The timings of Java is 4 p.m. Guys, just do one thing. I think everyone are there in Instagram. You can just follow this page. Click on this. If you want, I can just give you the link. If you want me to give the link, okay, I'll just share you the link here. Just give me 1 minute. A very quick manner, I'll just share you the link so that you can just click on that. Okay, everyone just see the chat box. The chat box I have given the link. Please click on that link so that you can just directly search the page and you can just go through all the details. Okay, if you're not having any doubt, we will just conclude the session. Sir, can I conclude the session? Dayanand sir?
We will wait for 1 more minute. If any doubts are there, we will just conclude it.
Sir, fine. No issues.
Yeah, just 1 minute.
Okay, sir, fine. Guys, if you're having any specific queries or anything as such, if you want the guidance from my end, feel free to ask. Treat me as your friend. Now I'm telling, treat me as your friend. Please feel free to ask any kind of questions related to the technology. 100% I would like to help you out regarding that. Okay, I think no one is asking any question.
Fine, then we can log out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sandesh.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you so much. And one more thing, the credentials would remain the same in order to attend the Python class and Java class. Today, whatever the link you got, same link only you have to click. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. Same meeting ID, same password. For Python class also, for Java class also. Is that fine? Okay, I think everyone received the link. You can just click on that link. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, Sandesh. Bye.
Fine.